Market update on the 3rd. So we recovered the end of the day. We got back above 380 for the options chain. And the question is now, are we bullish from here or bearish from here? One thing that sticks out to me, and I noticed this last hour of the day, is look at the 20 and the 50-day moving average. The 20 just crossed the 50-day moving average. Go back to September 20, cross the 50, look what happened. Go back to May 20, cross the 50, look what happened. So you see where this is going, basically. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be like that, but it crossed it, and it's going to need to save it the next couple of days in order for this to play out and go higher for bulls. But I'm definitely leaning towards the downside now. And so what I'm thinking, though, on this move, because this did not retrace that far, it went to 386, didn't break the high here. I think that it's a good chance that this is actually going to end up being just a B wave. We'll see. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but I think that this is more likely this. That's what it looks like to me, because this is not retrace enough for a second wave. Have to be a really shallow retracement. And this actually makes more sense for the whole pattern of the this would actually end up looking like this. It would be W here still, and then we would have W. This would end up being X if we came down here, and then we would get the Y wave up here. And that would be the X wave. And then would come the Y wave down. So I'm just like thinking of different scenarios, and that looks like a pretty good scenario. This would just be a ABC pattern, and it could actually go lower than this too. No, I would say it'd probably have to be a double bottom. The thing that's weird about this, though, is this did not come all the way up to the top of this, so it would be a short C wave if this were to play out. So maybe it's just a shallow second wave. I'll zoom in here in a second and we'll look at it. But the reason that I actually am thinking that we go down from here as more likely, because this move right here is actually, I said it was corrective, but I think you had to count it as an impulsive move. If you look at it, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I mean, that could be ABC as well, but I'm just thinking that if this is a 5-wave move, then we're looking at this like third wave is going to take us down to 372. And then bounce to 375. And then the final move take us down to like 365, 366. That could also look like this, I guess. It could still, if it goes down to 365, 366, this could still be, let's see, W, X. These are all ABC patterns. This could just be a bigger ABC pattern. So A, B, and then C wave up here. Possible too. So I guess, yeah, the shallow wave right here is kind of confusing right now. So we'll see what happens. But this looks like a 5-wave move to me off the top from 386. Went all the way down to 377. So a pretty big move down, and we get a corrective move right here. This is corrective. You can clearly see it. This comes back pretty far. It looks corrective to me, at least. Let's see. And this looks like ABC right here. So ABC, pull back, boom. This comes back into the first wave. This pulls back past this 0.78 fib. Looks like ABC to me, so it looks like a second wave. And so, yeah, I'm looking for a move down tomorrow, lower. And I would be surprised, I think, if we got a much higher move tomorrow. But let's say it does end up playing out as ABC, then we are looking for about 390 because the 1.61 fib, or maybe even higher than that, maybe 394. Except for this came down to 377, got 374, so maybe 3 points higher than this, 390 in the supply zone. Today was pretty easy for me though, because I just, once it got to supply zone, I just started buying puts, expecting for a pullback to the demand zone, exactly what we got. So I just sold in the demand zone, still holding some puts for tomorrow if we get a move down. We might get a slight move in the morning higher, so maybe to like 381, 382, and then go down. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for an impulsive move higher yet. It doesn't look like the right structure. So down is what I'm expecting, probably down to a, from here, if this ends up being a third wave, we're looking for like mid 360s. And that could only be the third wave too, if this is a shallow second wave. If that's the case, then we're looking down at probably 330. So shallow second wave or B wave, we'll see tomorrow, I guess. Tesla, I talked about this in the last video. Came down a little bit farther than I thought it would, and actually I think that there's a good chance that this is the fourth wave bounce right here. So I think I jumped the gun a little bit. We have A, B, C, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would go along with SPY going down lower as well. I'm still holding puts on Tesla now, and we'll see. They're from far out though, so if I'm wrong, I won't have to worry about it because that means we're on our way to bounce to 130 to 140. The overall chart looks like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we don't know if the fifth wave is done yet. But as soon as it's done, we should get a big bounce to 130 to 140. I'm expecting 100 as a pretty good spot for this to end. There was a lot of put buying around 100. So I can imagine it hitting 100 and then bouncing for a fourth wave and then making the final move down to about 80 bucks. I got 80 bucks from, if this is a W wave right here, then 80 bucks is the 78 bucks is the 1.61 fib. So basically, if Tesla goes down to 100, bounce to 130, and then down to 80 bucks. So maybe SPY will be, that'll give us some clues on what SPY will do. So I'm thinking SPY comes down here soon, but we'll see because I'm not like as confident as I usually am, I guess, on these moves. I'm still in puts though. I just buy like in the money puts and covered calls, that kind of stuff. So let's go over the dollar. Haven't looked at the dollar all day. The dollar is big pop. That's what I like to see to solidify a bottom right there. And this did come down to 103.40 and then a big pop. That's pretty key right there. I think that we could see a pretty big move higher in the dollar if this is the bottom. I would want to see an impulsive move, and we got it, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for one more move higher. Tomorrow, that supports a move lower in SPY. And if we're looking at supply zones and where we could think the first wave could end, here's one right here at 107.03 to 107.70, and then obviously this one right here at 110.75 to 112.98. Still looking for a pretty big pop. We'll see if we get to 120. this like went down farther than I thought it was going to, so we'll see on that. I'll just go over it day by day. Apple. So Apple is down to 125. Down 3.74% today. It was back up to 131. I actually didn't look at it all day. Just following Tesla and SPY, but it's right at the very bottom of this channel. So I still think that, I don't know, it's kind of confusing because Apple, I would expect a bounce, but SPY, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe SPY will come down here to like the low 370s and then bounce, and it'll be an expanded flat. That's my other guess. That would just mean that this whole thing is ABC. And if that's the case, if we get an expanded flat, so this is A, B, we would get a C wave up here to like 390. So expanded flat usually goes to about the 1.23 fibs, that's 390. So I guess I could see that playing out. Either way, that would mean bearish tomorrow though. So Apple hitting the bottom of the channel. I'm expecting it to bounce and then get one more move lower. I think I talked about it in the last video. 108 would be a good target. That is the, I don't know, maybe not 108. Yeah, 108 I guess is now 117 here, and then we have 1.61 fib here at 97. But 108 I think is the 1.61 fib if we hit 123. So I don't know why that's not working. Huh. Let's see if it works now. Oh, there we go. I have like a glitch going on here. So yeah, Apple 108 is the 1.61 fib of the W wave. So we'll watch on Apple. It should be bouncing here soon. I think the bottom of this channel, we should get a pretty good bounce. That supports an ABC move higher. Probably going to end up being an expanded flat though. And if that happens, then the third wave would still be in play because that'd be about 50% retracement. All right, QQQ. Hopefully everyone makes some good money today. I mean, honestly, if you don't even know the pattern, just highlight the supply and demand zones. So I did the 4 hour today. So 4 hour, clearly right here, you have top of this candle, bottom of this candle. Then you have a clear supply zone right here and a supply zone right here from 383.56 to 390. What happens? We go right into the supply zone and then come right back down to the demand zone. So sometimes this will probably be better than even using Elliott wave because you can just trade off the zones, and then if it goes outside the zone, you take the loss. But then again, if you use Elliott wave with the supply and demand, then it makes it even more powerful because then you have an idea of what kind of move is going to happen. Corrective move, impulsive, all that. So QQQ, get rid of this Bollinger Bands. QQQ, I have it drawn up right here. I think that this is the 20. Yeah, the 20, same thing as SPY, just crossed the 50 again. It's not always going to be a bearish indicator, but this could be doing the exact same thing as SPY. We could get a move down here tomorrow, or maybe an expanded flat as well. So again, we have ABC, and then we have what could potentially be a 5-wave move, or ABC. ABC would take it all the way down to 257, which is past the start of the A wave, and then it would bounce higher for an expanded flat. And the target, let's say it goes to 257, would be up here at 273. And then we could call that the end of either the B wave or the second wave. So it is actually still in this demand zone. So that should be pretty good for bulls, but I'm expecting it to break below it. We'll see tomorrow. I think that, let's go over the VIX, and I think that's pretty much it for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you think is going to happen. I'm overall bearish still. I got to stay bearish. Even if it goes ABC to 390, I'm still going to have my bearish positions because I think that no matter what, we're coming down here. So I don't see any reason to sell them right now. If it gives me a reason to sell them, then I'll probably get out of them. But right now, no reason. VIX up today, but not significantly. We'll see what happens with that. Again, I'm not doing technical analysis on this anymore until we get like a substantial move. It looks like on the weekly, I could see this going all the way up to, where did this go to? I have so many lines on this thing. So it went all the way up to 25.88, I guess, on the 12th. If this is an ABC pattern, we might get that same spike. And it looks like it is. The only way it's not is if this is ABC and it comes lower. But if it's an ABC pattern where this is A, this is B, we should get something up here to like 25, 26. So I'll leave it at that. We'll see what happens in the morning. I'll do an update tomorrow during the day so we can figure out exactly what's going on here. But I'm leaning bearish tomorrow. Make it clear. If you wanted to play, I mean, it's not even point in putting a stop above the high because you're going to be in a supply zone if it comes all the way up here. So I'm just holding my puts for now. We'll see what happens. I'll do an update during the day tomorrow. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, more updates, and I'll talk with you tomorrow.